When an offense is operating on all cylinders, playing near perfect football, there are certain things defenses simply can't do against them, or they will pay. After Lamar Jackson won MVP in 2023, the Ravens added Derrick Henry, and now the offense is somehow even better. Lamar, through just 12 games, already has more passing touchdowns than last year. His yards per attempt has jumped 1 full yard. And with Henry next to him, the Ravens look completely unstoppable. If defenses do X, the Ravens just do Y, their offense has been unbelievably explosive. What are the coverages and concepts they aren't allowing defenses to play? Well, before we answer that question, I want to thank this season's sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy sports site where you can pick a player every day. Of course, they have football, also basketball, hockey, college football, soccer. You can even do first half NFL, first quarter NFL. If you can predict a stat, you can win big. To play, you choose 2 to 6 players and select whether they go more or less than their projection. PrizePicks is doing a Thanksgiving deal that, sorry to say, ended before I put this out. I did put it on my Twitter though, where Tyreek just needed 0.5 receiving yards on Thanksgiving. My wife will leave me with the kids if this doesn't hit. And I'll take Derek Carr as well. PrizePicks is the fastest withdrawals of any daily fantasy app I've used. I load up the app, easy as hell, I'm done. They're also doing a deal where if you use my promo code Rollins, you put in $5, they will give you $50 for free. That's promo code Rollins. We'll start off with the ways that Lamar and this offense stress defenses, and then get into the coverages they eliminate. As I said, Lamar has become even more explosive this season. He's leading the league with 27 touchdowns, leads the league with 9 yards per attempt, same with his QB rating. So teams have responded by dropping a second safety deep to keep receivers from beating them over the top. Well, when you do that, there's one less guy in the box to defend Derrick Henry's 1,200 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns, and Lamar running 2. So defenses who are protecting against the pass have completely opened up the run game. Henry can break off one of his 70-yard runs at any time. Obviously, Lamar can too. So the easy fix is to bring that safety down into the box to help limit their rushing attack. But that creates one-on-ones outside with Zay Flowers. It's harder for just one safety to defend play-action crossers. The Ravens' offense is a deep bag of tricks that you can never solve. One of the many ways Lamar affects defenses, limits what they can do, is by changing how they rush him. Typically, edge rushers want to beat the offensive tackle around the edge to get to the quarterback as soon as possible, but that creates an open gap for the quarterback to run. So Denver's game plan was to power rush the Ravens tackles. The only problem, when your guys aren't as strong as theirs, power rushes don't work, and Lamar has all day to throw down the field. So teams realize they need to create pressure by blitzing him, since their power rushing doesn't work. Well, Lamar's yards per attempt actually improve against the blitz. He's second in the league in touchdowns when blitzed too, and an underrated part of that success is his pre-snap processing. First, he gets his man coverage tell when he motions Zay Flowers across the formation and cornerback Trayvon Diggs follows. Elite quarterbacks know a pre-snap blitz coverage tell is when both linebackers are in tight to the formation, since they want to be closer to the quarterback so they can get to him quicker. Lamar audibles to a branch concept with a shallow crosser underneath, because he sees the inside backers tight and knows that with one high safety man coverage, the cornerbacks will stay inside leverage since they know they don't have that inside linebacker help because of the blitz. Dallas is playing inside leverage to try and force a longer throw outside, so Branch works great against this very coverage. But when Jordan Lewis does a good job neutralizing that advantage and Lamar gets pressured, he uses his legs to extend the play, not to run, but to create time for himself to throw to the crosser over the middle and pick up a nice chunk instead of the sack. He uses his mind to get his team into a favorable matchup, then uses his legs to extend the play so he can use his mind again to hit his third read in the progression. Defenses know they need multiple different ways to blitz him. They'll overload the Ravens' pass protection by bringing more than the Ravens can block, but still, Lamar rips him up. The Bucs bring an extra rusher off the edge, and watch Jordan Whitehead. He knows they're getting a free runner, so Lamar will have to get rid of the ball quick, so he jumps the route over the middle. You know the quarterback can hit you deep if he's getting a rusher in his face immediately, but then Lamar just easily evades the free runner and hits Rashad Bateman for a 45-yard gain. In the past, defenses have had more success mixing and matching coverages to fool him. But now that he's developed more as a passer, now that the Ravens have more talent, and now that they have offensive coordinator Todd Monken calling the shots, they're much better at setting defenses up so they can make them pay. The Broncos have two mugged up linebackers, meaning they're on the line of scrimmage and are showing a heavy blitz. So the Ravens motion Justice Hill back and forth to see if anybody follows. Cody Barton does, which tells Lamar it's likely man coverage, but then when the play starts, Barton goes elsewhere, Jonah Ellis covers Justice Hill, yet Lamar still makes a beautiful throw to convert the 3rd and 4. How did he know what the Broncos were running? A lot of defenses like to play zone coverage to the 3 receiver side and then man up the backside, the side with just 2. Usually defenses are taking their second safety, their weak safety. We've talked before how quarterbacks are taught to read this weak safety first immediately after the snap. It's the best indicator for what the defense is running. Anyway, defenses like to defend the 3 receiver side with this weak safety. They want to bring him down to overload this side. So when Lamar sees that, he knows he has one-on-one man coverage, whoever is guarding Hill, Barton or Ellis, it doesn't matter. And the Ravens have a man coverage beater on this side. Lamar knows if Barton goes over the pick from Bateman to throw it underneath and back shoulder to Hill. And if Barton goes under Bateman, Lamar knows to loft it deep because Barton will have to play catch-up. Then a few plays later, the Ravens hit on a bomb down the field, and this was set up by Todd Monken from our previous play. He is excellent at seeing the trends of what the defense is doing throughout the game, then is able to use Lamar's abilities to capitalize. So when we go back, we see Devon Keys, the weak safety, coming down for any crossers, and Brandon Jones is playing deep over the top. So Monken runs Bateman on a clear-out route to get Jones out of the picture, then crosses Zay Flowers into the void where Key is not. When the Broncos adjust and bring Key higher to cut off the deep crosser from Flowers, Lamar is so good at knowing when to use his legs to burn him with his speed, and even though the Broncos did do a good job adjusting, they get torched. When defenses start going exclusively to high safeties to keep more bodies back, like we talked about earlier, this shifts the Ravens' focus back to the run game. When you keep 2 safeties deep, you create an even advantage in the box, meaning there are the same amount of defenders as there are blockers, so if each blocker connects, the running back is free to fly. What's even worse is when you have a running quarterback, now you have an additional number in the run game. Because quarterbacks aren't typically runners, they're not typically counted in the box count. So when defenses need to get the advantage back, they bring that second safety down into the box. Because Lamar is also a runner, once again the offense has the advantage since the numbers are even. He can just read the unblocked defensive end and keep the ball if he crashes. A common way defenses try to attack this is to scrape exchange, where one defender crashes for the running back no matter what, then the defense flies a linebacker or safety over the top for the quarterback. But the Ravens and Todd Monken are too good and have thought of counters to the counters. They use nub formations, which means the tight end is on the line of scrimmage and all the receivers are on the other side. This means the defense can't scrape exchange, because if it's a passing play, nobody would have marked Andrews, so Kalen Carson has to stay back in man coverage while Andrews blocks, leaving nobody for Lamar when he runs. This last example is the Ravens bringing it all together, where Lamar fakes a snap and sees Joe Tryon-Shoyinka jump inside a bit, showing he's gonna blitz. Defensive ends slant inside to create a gap outside for a blitzer, so Lamar audibles where the line will seal Tryon-Shoyinka inside and have Pat Ricard kick out the blitzing defender. We can see Derrick Henry at his best here, where he shouldn't technically be able to see the crashing Antoine Winfield Jr., but the greats can read the man in front of them and also see through other defenders down the field, so Henry knows he's going to make Winfield miss before he even shows up to the party. The Baltimore Ravens offense is operating at a different level. They are simply toying with defenses. If you run this coverage, we'll kill you here, so okay, you'll run this coverage, so now we'll kill you there. Lamar Jackson is having arguably his greatest season ever, and when paired with Derrick Henry, Todd Monken, and good surrounding talent, the Baltimore Ravens might finally have the team to win Lamar Jackson his first Super Bowl.